The Organization for Nuclear Disarmament had a peace walk planned in the beginning of the 80s. And it was going to begin in New Orleans at City Hall. And it was going to go up to Baton Rouge and back down to Mandeville, and then up the East Coast to New York. And then from there, across the ocean to Russia. I was determined I was going to go, but I wasn't going to go without my boys. I explained to people at the dancing school that I was going to be gone for 2 weeks, and that I was going to be on a peace walk. And the boys were about 9, 7, 6, about that age. And as it turned out, when we got there was a lot of people. I was going on it for the first day. The first day, we were going to walk from City Hall to La Place. That was our first day walk. And there's a lot of people. I can't even tell you. Most of them was local people, but they had some foreigners. It was being led by Nipponese monks who grew up in the temple from the time they were between the age of 8 and 10. They entered the temple, and they lived there all their lives and knew nothing except to pray. Well, they knew a lot of things, but their object was to pray day and night for peace, world peace. Okay, after the first day, they had people who had agreed to, along the way, because it was well publicized, churches or people would meet us at certain points and give us food. So, the monks were vegetarians too, but they ate anything on the road. Whatever people gave them to eat, that's what they did. It was a gift. You don't refuse a gift. It's a blessing. So people would come out and meet us and treat us lunch, usually on the open road. The supper would be at a church, and the church would give us food and let us sleep at the church. Okay, this went on from La Place. I can't exactly remember the next city that we went to, but we would walk from dawn until noon, and then we would take a break, and we had lunch, and then we would start off again and walk until it got dark. But that's when it got dark, we went in the churches. Whichever church was there for us to eat. It got real interesting the second day because the majority of people dropped out after the second day. That's a lot of walking. We were walking at least 20 miles a day. And they were doing it. There was not little kids, and they was doing it. And the monks couldn't get over that. Ooh, fine boys you have. Fine boys you have. And that's what they do all the time. Marishito knew most English. The other two didn't know hardly any at all, but they would agree with everything he said and do everything he said. And the boys had the Rubik's Cube, and they wanted to learn the Rubik's Cube. We wanted to learn about the monks. Well, through the whole walk, we had to chant, Nanamyo Renge Kyo, which you can't exactly interpret that into English, but what it means, it's a prayer for world peace. So they had drums. After the bulk of the people left, because we started really, we danced like maybe a core group of 20 of us, and we got to know one another. There was a guy from Germany, a girl from Canada, two guys from Switzerland or Sweden, I don't remember. The monks were from, what do you call it, a place where everybody goes in Britain? It's nothing.
I don't know.
It's like the world government
Parliament.
is centered there.
Isn't it Parliament?
It's not Parliament. I don't have to. But anyway, that's where they were centered. In across the ocean there. That's where their home base was. We had people from different parts of the United States, and we all spoke to one another, you know.
Right.
They had already picked out the FBI ones.
Yeah.
You know, you just know them. I mean, they can look as hippie as they want to look, but you know, there's just something about them. They want to know too much. That's what gives them away. You know, you just enjoying this walk and chanting and everything, but they full of questions. Yeah. You know. So naturally, all the newspapers and all the places we went would take pictures of us. So the boys and my family would constantly know where we were. We were on the front page of every paper. Katrina took all of that away. And all the pictures. And it got bad. It got bad when we started getting close to Walker, Louisiana, Denham Springs. We got ran off the road. We got shot at. They had to stop a part of the interstate to let us go across because we were walking old roads. And we had to go over an interstate, and you had to have a police escort, and they gave us that. When we got to the worst place of all, the 18-wheelers lined up. And that's when the black people came out of the woods and caught us before we got into the trap. And they took us back through the woods to their church, and they stood watch all night so we could eat and we could get some sleep. And I remember one time we got shot at again, and we knew where the bullets, we knew where we were getting shot from. We knew where the shots were coming from. And somebody suggested maybe we should go and confront these people. And somebody else said, yeah, let the guys go see if they can talk to them. And Mercury, he was the one from Germany. He says, no. He says, one goes, we all go. It's all right. I'll never forget that when he said that. It's better to have that balance of men and women, because at the time it hit me because it made sense. It made perfect sense. You always have a balance. And we went past a cow field. This was the weirdest thing, okay, I think, out of all of it. The cows heard us coming, evidently, because like I said, we had the drum. We chanted, and there was about 20 of us, so it was a pretty loud chant. By the time we got to the field where the cows were, they were lined up facing the road, side by side, all the way across the field, waiting for us. It was so awesome. And they stood there like that, like they knew. Like, like they actually knew. They understood. And they stayed just like that till we were gone. And then they went back to eating and being cows. That was the most awesomest thing. We got to Mandeville. That's when I said we had to go, because I had to go back to work. And that's where we got off. I got sick, very sick, and I got sick because I did not want to leave. Otherwise, we would have kept walking. We would have ended up in New York and went across the ocean to Russia. And we probably never would have came back. I don't know what would happen. But anyway, it was the best 10 days of my life.